What's up, everybody? It's AfroDJMac, and I got a new free Ableton Live Pack for you. This is the AfroDJMac and BD Casio CT-101. Here is a Casio CT-101, which my friend BD sent me some samples of. Funny looking old synth here, and it's kind of a funny looking Ableton instrument. So I'll open it up for you, and the first thing you're going to see is a rack with all these different instruments in it. And it's really the same instrument, except there's one slight difference. On the LFO on each chain, which is spread out across the keys here, there's very slight pitch change. So a little bit of pitch variation on each one that you can see over here. That is to give you a slightly out-of-tune synth. And if you listen, there's very subtle like pitch movement going on between these different notes. And that's sort of to emulate some analog drift that goes on in your old analog synths. So we're trying to do that here. So I have kind of traditional stuff here. I got a filter, low pass filter, which you see is within the auto filter. We've got resonance. I've got control of the release. You can make that nice and short. Or, you know, I had it about like 500 milliseconds. After that, we have a noise amount and noise color. And that, I'm going to just close some of these guys down so you can see it, is the erosion and vinyl distortion. So, I'll just go back in here. If I turn this up, I'm turning up my erosion and vinyl distortion plugins. And it gets pretty noisy. I'll turn it all the way up. And then you can also play around with the color of the noise. So that changes kind of the frequency of the noises here. So I've also got a gate behind it. And the reason for that is vinyl distortion always outputs some sound. Now I put the gate on so that you can see the threshold is just above the loudness of the vinyl distortion, so that you only hear it when you're playing notes, which is pretty cool, I think. So we got that there, and last thing I got is some control over the chorus. So again, if we play around with this synth here, I can turn up the chorus amount, dry wet. I can turn up, that's the amount here. I can turn up the rate. So you can get some pretty crazy sounds by just playing around with your chorus a little bit. So now we got this noisy, gritty, kind of slightly out of tune but still playable synth here that you can mess around with. Some nice low bass too. Really kind of digging that. Alright, so that's the first one. And there are two. And here's the second one. Now this one just sounds a little different. The only real difference I have going on here is instead of the release, I just had delay, because this is a really short sample. So we have some control over delay. And this is the other sound. And again, we got the chorus with some extreme controls. You can make it sound pretty crazy. You have your filter. And you got your noise. And it works pretty much the same way, except it has delay. So this is kind of like a cool, like plucked instrument sound. And the lower you get, the longer it lasts. And the higher you get, you get shorter samples. So that is the Casio CT-101. I gotta thank BD for sending me these samples. He meticulously chopped up a whole bunch of stuff, and I only used really short samples, but I thank him very much for letting us have this synth inside of our Ableton. So I hope you enjoy it. Thanks a lot.